This video had to be made. It's going to piss a lot of people off, but I don't really care. I care about the people that need to hear the truth. That's what I care about. If I cared about these channels and everything else that come along with it, I would be a very emotional person because, channel after channel coming down and videos getting flagged almost every day. I mean, but it doesn't affect me for one reason, because once I give the truth to the people, they got it anyway. You understand? You can't erase it from their memory. You can do all you can to team up with other people and have the video come down as being flagged, but they won't forget what I said. So once they have heard it, that's it. So you shouldn't even bother, because it's not going to make a difference. And I'll just put another one up that's even better than the one that got taken down. But some of you, you're hard-headed, and some of you are just out plain just retarded. This thing called Adsense. Listen, it's time to have a conversation about this. The first thing that I want to say about this, before I go deep into it, realize something. Every time that you cash a Google AdSense check, you're contradicting yourself. It's a contradiction of everything that you have ever said in any of your videos to anybody. I've heard people talk about symbolism. I've heard people talk about how they are against, these certain people, the powers that be, and certain specific people that own these companies that have decision-making capabilities on anything that would affect us. And yet, they willingly accept a Google AdSense check from the same people that they claim to be against, from the same people that they claim to hate. Now, they don't want you to hear this because it makes way too much sense. Accepting that money is shaking the hand in agreement with the powers that be, with the same people that you claim to be against. So how can you say, you know what, I don't like them doing this, and something's up about that, and they're trying to trick you about this, and I need to warn you about that, in relation to the same people that you accept a check from? It's hard to believe that you are actually really against these people. I don't think you are. I think you're working for them. Some of you knowingly and some of you unknowingly. But every time that you cash that Google AdSense check, you are contradicting yourself. Everything, every word, every material that you have ever put out there is in contradiction. People are paying attention. Don't think that they don't realize that you are monetizing every single video. It's the last thing that you do, by the way. There is no auto monetize, and you just monetize once and then you don't have to ever worry about it again. It's the last thing that you do after you upload that video to a certain channel that you own. So the last thing on your mind is, I want to get paid off this particular video. Serious or not serious, I want to get paid off this particular video. See, it's what you are thinking about the most. And for some of you, it's all that you think about. You want to get paid. You want that money. When you got your first Google AdSense check, it felt good. You didn't really have to do anything for it. Just talk about things that you normally talk about, that you bitch and moan about, that you complain about, but you never do anything about. And so you got off on that. And then that amount started to increase, and then you started to find out, the more people that I have coming to my channel, the more money that I can make. So let me start to make people happy instead of actually making people unhappy. Then you start changing your purpose. Some of you out there that I used to like what you were talking about, I no longer do. I waited. I wanted to see if you would have conviction as far as still monetizing your videos. But you didn't have any conviction, and you never will. You are no different from the people that you talk about. You can't talk about Willie D. You can't talk about Tariq Nasheed. You can't even talk about Tommy Sotomayor, because he would always have that same thing that would stick on you, or anybody that would be against him. You doing the same thing I'm doing, brother. You doing the same thing that I'm doing, sister. How can you get around that? There's no excuse for you monetizing. And most of you claim that you have jobs and you own this and you own that. So you don't need to monetize. Why are you monetizing in the first place? Now I see. It was always about the money. This is just something that you use in order to draw people, draw an audience to your channel so that you can get paid more money. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. And if you don't change, karma has a funny way of dealing with people. I'm telling you. And I would hate for karma to have to deal with you. I think you got it in you. But I think you let this money start to take over and control you totally. You started getting greedy, just as these frauds have years ago. That money started to increase. It's hard to go back to not receiving money. And just doing this because out of love for the people and giving them the truth and warning them and stopping them from doing something that they would regret. Much like I'm trying to do with you. You will regret it. I promise you. Money isn't everything. And I've found this to be true. When you don't really focus on money too much and you don't let it control you, you have more of it. But when you focus on it all the time and you're worried about this and worried about that and you start to get greedy, this is when you have a limited amount and you need more and more. You can never get enough. As soon as you get it, it's going right out the damn door, especially when it comes to these Google Adsense checks. Oh, they go fast. This is why you come right back to YouTube. Some of you have increased the number of videos that you're doing per day, just as Willie D has. Now, I mean, come on now. Information is one thing, but 3 videos in one day? The only way that would be justifiable is if you wasn't monetizing it and you was kicking that truth to the people. Something that they could use to change their lives for the better. But I don't see many of us out there that's willing to do it for free. I don't see many. And it won't ever be a large amount of people. Stop letting these people fool you. I'm telling you. They hook you in, make you believe that they're against Willie D and they're against Tommy Sotomayor and they're against Tariq Nasheed. But really, they don't really care what these brothers really do. Just as long as they continue having that audience come to their channel so that they can get paid. Nobody's perfect. I'm not, for sure. When I stopped cursing so that I could be an example to the people that's looking up to me, I felt that conviction. I knew that I was wrong. Sometimes it takes a person to go out on that limb and tell you something, not knowing what type of reaction that you're going to have toward it, or if you might take it the wrong way. But giving you that information because they know that, listen, brother, you're wrong. Am I my brother's keeper? And I saw where I was wrong. And now I'm going to make sure that I don't have to curse because it is wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm not even close to being perfect. No one is. But I'll tell you something. The work that I do is needed. You're hated by everybody because the large majority of each population, each race, they're not doing right. They're not doing the right thing. So when you start calling them out, they're going to get angry. And they start reacting. And they start running to the comment section with these derogatory comments. Why? It's not so much as they trying to support the person or defend the person that they are supporting, as it is you're talking about their life. And when they write that comment, it's as if they're acknowledging to you, listen, hey man, you're describing my life. I need you to be quiet. I don't need you to continue talking about my life. Yes, that's my life. I don't own anything. I don't have anything. I'm dependent on everybody, whomever I can use just to have something. They don't want to hear that. But we have to shame them to change them. It's the only way that they will change. And a small percentage is the only ones that would just take that and apply it to their life and change right then and there. But the large majority, they'll keep digging that ditch for themselves until they can't get out. And some of you right now, and I've said this before, you can't get out now. And you realize this. You realize your life won't ever be anything more than what it is currently. So you want to mess up everybody else's life. These are the instigators, by the way. This is the reason why they do the things that they do. They go from channel to channel. They don't support nobody. They don't like nobody because their life is done. Imagine that. So there's no need to have any goals or aspirations because it's too late. You done dug a hole so deep for yourself that it's done. You might as well just go ahead and just end it because you're done. I know that sounds harsh, but I'm giving them truth here. I want them to understand that I know you have dug this hole for yourself that you can't get out of, ever. Nobody can help you out of it. As a matter of fact, if you try to help them, they're going to pull you down with them. Misery loves company. I'm telling you. Every day, these instigators are pulling you down if you even pay half attention to what they're saying. Their goal is to try to get you to pay attention to them. That's why they run to the comment section and they say this and they say that. And I take their comment down almost instantly. And I want everybody to understand that this is my channel. You don't tell me what I can and cannot do. I took the advice of the cursing because that was in the right. That brother happened to be right. But what I know that I'm right about, I won't even acknowledge that you even said anything. I'll just erase your comment and you just get the hell. I almost let it go. You know where you can go. Changing is hard. It really is. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to make this too long. When I quit smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, I quit it all in the same day. Cold turkey. It wasn't no, well, I'll just smoke, 3 today, and then tomorrow I'll smoke 2 and work my way down. No, I quit cold turkey. It's the only way that you can quit. Listen, all this medication and stuff, Chantix and stuff, that stuff got side effects, man. And then 90% of the people that have taken something like that, they go right back to smoking. They go right back. And this electronic cigarette stuff, it's no better. I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, the case studies that they're doing is proving that heating up that metal and the little metal fragments and flakes is getting inside your lungs. It's literally cutting your lungs to pieces. It's making your lungs bleed. Not to mention the form of cancer that you're inhaling also too with that toxic stuff. Tobacco, nicotine, it's not good in any form. Just leave it alone. Just quit it, man. The best way that you can quit, get you some bubble gum and some candy and always chew on that stuff. You got to constantly do that and be doing something also too. You can't quit if you ain't got no job and and you don't do nothing every day but just lay around. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You would drive yourself insane. You're gonna have to be active. That's the only way that. Notice how when you are active, you don't think about smoking. You don't start thinking about it until you are done with your activity, and then when you are relaxing, you start thinking about the nicotine. But not doing that because it's a chemical that's released when you're active. So you have to make that chemical constantly be released. I know this guy that every time he would think about smoking a cigarette, he would go jogging. Matter of fact, he lost almost 50 to 60 pounds because he jogged so much. Brother was in shape. So at the same time that he ended up accomplishing quitting smoking, he also got back in shape. Great idea. Do what you need to do. Whatever idea you come up with, do what you need to do because I'm telling you, it's poison. The marijuana that you're smoking is poison. The alcohol that you're drinking is poison. All that stuff is. Leave it alone. Turn it loose. I would love to see one day that so many people turn it loose that the government starts to worry and starts to just panic and just, oh God, we losing money. When you drink that alcohol, that's a government seal that you're breaking. The liquor stores and everything else, I'm telling you. The cigarettes. I'm going to say this one last thing. The cigarette industry, I want you to understand something. The government owns a large percentage of it right now. This was decided when there was a lawsuit taken out on the cigarette industry for $100 million. And they actually had to pay it. But see, behind the scenes, they only paid a certain percentage of it. This was allowed by the government for them to do this because they could get a large part ownership of the cigarette industry. The government is a business, ladies and gentlemen. They are one of the major corporations out here. They just bum rush businesses because they can change laws. They can, make things bad for you. They can end your company. So they make a deal with you and say, okay, listen, you're guaranteed to be okay if you give us a third of your business. I'm telling you. And the people that's behind this, you don't see them. You have never seen them on TV. The people that you see on TV, these are the figureheads on purpose. So when something goes wrong, you look at them. So you never think about these people behind the scenes. But guess what? They will be exposed soon. Nothing stays in the dark. Nothing. I'm telling you. Every last one. And you're going to be surprised who these people are.